So here's your weekly spiritual rune forecast for men who are undergoing an initiation. We as men, we never really been through a rite of passage or initiation, because since the rise of the Roman Empire, since the time of the Greeks, boys don't follow a rite of passage to become a man. The boys don't go out into the fields as a hunter or a warrior underneath the guidance of a father figure, father role. Many of us, we grow up in broken families. A father figure who was not there, or a mother figure who was also not there. Maybe we have a father wound, a mother wound, which is now expressing itself through feeling lost without having any clarity, direction, purpose, finding joy, love in our life, opening up the heart to the flow of abundance, etc. So that's why we have a different perspective on undergoing a spiritual rite of passage, and that's why I also have created the Wolf operating system. So let's have a look what your weekly forecast has to say about you based on your date of birth. So when you click the link down below, you can go here and you can click on the weekly rune forecast, and then you will enter a page just like here. Now let's begin with the first one. If you were born March 21st until April 19, you're Aries. Alright, there we go. The Phoenix ascends. The 4 runes you're going to get is Uruz, Taurus, Taurus and Scorpio. Of course, the runes are tools of divination. It's a sign, it's a remembering, it's a mirror in our soul's journey of where we are right now. So the archetype of the week, the visionary, and the Norse god embodiment, Odin. The message is: harness the raw strength within you. Let fire ignite your spirit. Rise like the phoenix. Stand firm against your challenges. Taurus shields you. Channel your purpose fiercely. Taurus guides your will. Eliminate the path ahead. Scorpio lights your way. Embrace brotherhood. Together you are unstoppable. Let every trail be a stepping stone to your destiny. Now, if you want the full rune message based on what you have today, this is basically what you can get as well if you of course decide to upgrade. So here is really complete message and guidance for this week, which is a general message. And if you're ready for it, you can also join the Wolf operating system, because in here, if you're here in the dashboards, right up here, beautiful dashboard I've created here, you can go to the personal rune readings, and then you can enter the plus sign, and then you can select your runes, and then also you get a full report. And of course, I also offer one-on-one sessions just in case you want something more personal. Alright, let's go to Taurus, April 20 till May 20. Let's have a look. What is the message? The Bull's Awakening. You get the runes Uruz, Taurus, Gebu, Berkana. Uruz is the rune of initiation, raw strength, raw power. Taurus, protection. Gebu, the gift of exchange. Berkana is death and rebirth. So the archetype of the week is the Guardian, the Norse god embodiment, Freyr. The message for this week is: stand firm, Taurus, for strength is your nature. Uruz ignites your power. Do not shy from your might. Taurus warns: be cautious, for conflict walks nearby. Harness the energy of Gebu. Collaboration breeds success. In brotherhood, trust your allies. Your strength multiplies. Berkana, promise growth and new beginnings. Nurture what you love. Lead with the heart, for the earth needs your steadfast spirit. Awaken, warrior, to your sacred purpose this week. And then, once you decide to upgrade for the full reading, you can have a report that looks something like this. It's a weekly message, and it's the complete reading right up here. It will look something like this. It goes much further into detail. And then of course you can also enter the Wolf operating system. because here you can also enter these runes right up here, an upright or a reversed, to get a full personalized report. Also, you can read and study more about these Norse god embodiment practices. Okay, let's have a look at Gemini, May 21st to June 20. What is the rune message? The runes, the tools of divination. We have Uruz, which represents the Norse god of Odin itself, the breath of communication. Manas, it's our identity, how we relate to others. Gebu, the gift of exchange, and Tiwas, the warrior rune. The archetype of the week, the strategist, the Norse god embodiment, Odin. The message, words are your weapons. Wield them with precision. This is Uruz. Your intellect is a forge. Shape it wisely. Brotherhood, strengthen us. Seek the bonds that uplift. This is part of the Manas. Challenge your shadows. Embrace the lessons they bring. And lead with honor. Your path illuminates others. Victory belongs to those who listen to the whispers of the cosmos. And then, of course, you can also upgrade to a really fully more into detail report, which can look something like this. There's a lot of information that you can find right up here. The suggested gods for deeper studies. And then you can also upgrade into the membership of the Wolf operating system. And at tier 2, you can access also your weekly rune reading. So if you have a personal rune reading that you got maybe from a one-on-one session, you can end up here and you can also get a report right up here. And of course also in here you can learn more about the Norse god embodiments. Now let's have a look at Cancer if you're born between June 21st and July 22nd. Let's have a look. The Guardian's Embrace, Algish, Wunyu, Ewas, Tiwas. These are the rules, the tools of divination. Help us to give us a mirror in our soul's journey. The archetype of the week, the Guardian, the Norse god embodiment, Tyr, the warrior gods. Stand firm this week, protector of the heart. Embrace the light that shines from within you. Connections deepen. Ponder who stands by your side. Nurture bonds, for they are your strength. Face challenges with the courage of a warrior. Channel your purpose. Lead with conviction. Honor the balance of heart and might. In you steadfast, find your true power. And then of course, if you want, you can go further and get a full report that would look something like this. You have your runes, the message, the complete rune reading, the weekly focus, overall theme and energy, detailed interpretation of each rune, rune interactions, shadow work for the week, daily practices specific to these runes, weekly guidance, action steps, suggested Norse god for deeper studies, etc. And then of course you can also join the Wolf operating system, because in there you also have an opportunity to enter the runes, whether upright or reversed, to get a full report as well. And then you join a brotherhood, a community. Okay, so let's have a look at Leo, July 23rd into August 22nd. What is the message? The lion's roar of leadership. The runes you're getting is Tiwas, Wunyu, Turizas and Algish. The archetype of the week is the commander. The Norse god's embodiment is Tyr. Stand firm, Leo. The stars beacon your courage and clarity. Harness Tiwa's strength. Claim your role as a leader. Wunyu promises joy and unity. Rally your brothers. Turizas warns of challenges. Do not shy from the fight. Algish protections surround you. Walk boldly into the fray. And of course, if you want, you can get a more detailed report that would look something like this. You have the runes, weekly message, complete rune reading, weekly focus, overall theme and energy, detailed interpretation of each rune, rune interactions, shadow work focus for the week, daily practices, weekly guidance and action steps, suggested Norse gods for deeper studies. And then, of course, you also have an opportunity to either join the Wolf operating system or even book a personalized one-on-one session directly with me. Because inside the Wolf operating system you also have an opportunity to enter the runes right up here for also detailed reports. And then of course you join a Brotherhood as well. Alright, so let's have a look at Virgo. If you're born between August 23rd until September 22nd. The Alchemist Forge. You get the 4 runes of Uruz, Taurus, Petrol and Sowilu. The archetype of the week is the Visionary, and the Norse god embodiment, Odin. The message: forge your own path, Virgo. Strength are risen from self-awareness. Embrace the trials, they shape the warrior. Lead with intention like Tiwa's sword. Destiny favors the brave. Take command, seek unity and brotherhood. Share your fire. Eliminate the shadows, transform and rise. Remember, wisdom flows from the cosmos. Then if you want a much more further detailed report about your whole rune reading, you can see up here, and then it will look something like this. Your weekly warrior forecast. The runes, weekly message, complete rune reading, weekly focus, overall theme and energy, detailed interpretation of each rune, the rune interactions, shadow work focus for the week, daily practices specific to these runes, weekly guidance and action steps, the suggested Norse gods for deeper studies. And then, if you want, you can also access the Wolf operating system at level tier, because at tier number 2 you have an opportunity to also have personalized rune readings, weekly rune readings, messages. You can select and enter your runes right up here, upright or reversed, and you get also like a full report. And also you have an opportunity to learn more about the Norse gods embodiments, which you can see right up here in this video. Also you have the opportunity to schedule a one-on-one session for more personalized and more of a deep dive. Okay, let's have a look at Libra. If you're born between September 23rd into October 22nd. The balance of strength. You're having the runes of Ewas, Gebu, Turizas and Manas. The archetype of the week, the Guardian. The Norse gods embodiment, Tyr. Stand firm, Libra. Ewas teaches resilience amongst conflict. Forge connections, for Gebu binds us into brotherhood. Embrace your strength. Turizas demands courage in the face of adversity. Know thyself. Manas reveals the power of self-discovery. This week, you guard not just your hearts, but the heart of others. Lead with balance. Strength does not overshadow compassion. And then, of course, if you want a more deeper report, you see here how to get access to your full warrior forecast. And it will look something like this, your weekly warrior forecast. You have the runes, weekly message, complete rune reading, weekly focused, overall theme and energy, detailed interpretation of each rune. You have rune interactions, shadow work for the week, daily practices specific to these runes, weekly guidance and action steps. We have suggested Norse gods for deeper studies. And then also you have the opportunity to join the Wolf operating system. You find the demo right up here, because in here you also have an opportunity to enter these runes for a full report. And of course you can also learn more about these Norse god embodiment practices. Much more info that you can find here in this demo. And of course you can also book a personalized rune reading with me as well. Alright, let's have a look at Scorpio, October 23rd until November 21st. Okay, so we have the Scorpion's ascendants. We have the runes of Turizas, Ewas, Algish and Dagas. You're the shadow walker, the archetype of the week, and the Norse god embodiments, Hel or Hela. The message: embrace the darkness within, it is your greatest teacher. Shadow work calls, confront your fears, unleash your power. Turizas shields you, defend your boundaries fiercely. Ewas stands tall, endure the trials, become the ancient tree. Algish guides your healing, protect your spirit, warrior. Dagas heralds the dawn, rise renewed from the death. Transform your pain into purpose, stand as a scorpion. Leadership awaits, brother, step into your destined role. Then of course you can also have a full reading and a report of your weekly warrior forecast. It looks like something like this. You have the runes, weekly message, complete rune reading, weekly focus, overall theme and energy, detailed interpretation of each rune. We have the rune interactions, shadow work focus for the week, daily practices specific to these runes, weekly guidance and action steps. We have suggested Norse gods for deeper studies. And then you can also access the Wolf operating system, which is a Brotherhood's and masculine initiation system, and also masculine embodiment practices. And also in here you have an option to enter these runes right up here to generate a full report. And of course you can also learn more about these Norse gods embodiment practices. But here you can learn more in this demo. And of course you join a Brotherhood community. Then let's move on to Sagittarius, November 22nd till December 21st. Let's have a look. The Archer Ascendants. The runes you're getting for this week is Uruz, Solwilling, Tiwas, Manas. The archetype of the week, the Visionary. And the Norse god's embodiment, Odin. The message, embrace the primal strength within you. Harness the energy of ambition. Let it fuel your journey. Seek the light of truth to eliminate hidden path. Lead your brethren with courage and clarity. Stand resilient against the storm of doubt. Remember, a true warrior listens as much as he speaks. And then of course you can also generate full reports with overall theme and energy, detailed interpretation, rune interaction, shadow work focus for the week, daily practices specific to these runes, weekly guidance and action steps, suggested Norse god for deeper study. And it would look something like this. This is what you're going to get. And then eventually you can also access the Wolf operating system, which is a masculine initiation and embodiment system. You can learn more about this in this video and the demo. Because also in there you can have and generate your own reports for a monthly membership. But it's much more than just that. So yeah, you can watch the demo video right up here. And of course you can also book one-on-one sessions with me if you want a more personalized reading. Okay, let's have a look at Capricorn, December 22nd into January 19. The Strategist Rebirth. So the runes you're getting is Turizas, Uruz, Manas, Tiwas. The archetype of the week, the Commander, the Norse god embodiment, Tyr. The message, embrace your inner strength, warrior. Turizas sharpens the resolve to face conflicts. Uruz empowers your fierce heart. Harness its wealth energy. Manas calls for unity. Foster brotherhood in your journey. Tiwas guides your actions. Make decisions with honor. The battlefield waits. Rise as the leader you're meant to be. In shadow work, confront the darkness and emerge reborn. Your purpose is unfolding. Seize it with courage. And then of course you can also have a full report as well, which will look something like this, your weekly warrior forecast. You have your runes, weekly message, complete rune reading, weekly focus, overall theme and energy, detailed interpretation of each rune. We have rune interactions, shadow work focus for the week, daily practices specific to these runes, weekly guidance and action steps, Norse gods for deeper studies. And then also you have the opportunity to access the Wolf operating system, Wolf OS, which is a masculine initiation and embodiment system. And then here you can also generate your reports from the rune readings you get, both through the general reading but also through personalized one-on-one readings you can have with me. Also in here you can learn more about the Norse gods embodiments. Alright, let's have a look at Aquarius, January 20 until February 18. The Visionary's Clarity. The runes you're going to have is Anzus, Ewas, Gebu and Sowilu. Archetype of the week, the Visionary. The Norse god's embodiments, Odin. Eliminate the path with the wisdom of clarity. Embrace change. Your insights are a beacon. Forge bonds with brothers. Unity, strengthen, resolve. Trust your instincts, they are your weapon. Balance reflection with action. Ride the waves of fate. Awaken your voice. Speak your truth with courage. And then of course you can also get a full report as well. which will look something like this, your weekly warrior forecast. You have your runes, weekly message, complete rune reading, weekly focused, overall theme and energy, detailed interpretation of each rune. You have the rune interactions, shadow work focused for the week, daily practices specific to these runes, weekly guidance and action steps, suggested Norse god for deeper study. And then also you can access the Wolf operating system, which is a masculine initiation and embodiment system. Okay, and a tier 2, which I highly recommend, which is for the big transformation. It gives you an opportunity to generate reports by yourself based on these runes. Okay, so this can come from the general rune reading you just got, but also from personalized one-on-one readings you can have with me as well. And also in here you can learn more about these Norse gods embodiments. And lastly, let's have a look at Pisces. That is me. Any other fellow Pisces here, please let me know. Drop a comment below. We are the born seers and sensitives and dreamers. So what we have here, the Guardian's Awakening, the rune, Kenas, Algish, Manas and Wunyu. The archetype of the week, the Guardian. The Norse god embodiment, Tyr. The message for this week is stand firm in the face of uncertainty. Use the flame of Kenas to ignite your inner purpose. Algish calls forth your protective instinct. Shield your spirit. Manas urges connection, forge bonds of brotherhood. The stars alight your path, guiding you towards transformation. Wunyu sings of joy, celebrates every victory, big or small. Embrace your dual nature, the warrior and the nurturer. This week, rise as both protector and leader. And then of course, you can also generate your full reports, which will look like this. Exactly, this is an example for me as well. February 19, which you can see right up here, the full report you're going to have. Okay, and then of course you also have the option to join the Wolf operating system, okay, which is a masculine embodiment and initiation system. And in here you can find a demo about the system that is constantly growing, evolving into an interactive brotherhood. So there you have it, the weekly rune reading for us as men who want to connect more with the warrior archetype, to be focused, to have direction, is to go for our freedom, independence, and to step into our leadership, into our fire, our purpose, our vision. And this is exactly, that can be part of our rite of passage, our initiation. So if any of this resonated, please let me know. Simply drop a comment below. And of course, this is a general reading that is connected to your astrology as well. So it's not like, okay, here are a couple of runes for you. But yeah, anyway, once again, the link you can find here in the bio through my link of beacons. And then you can check it out for yourself as well. Alright, I look forward to see you all in my next videos. Take care for now. Bye bye.